Overtired. So tired. Overtired.
You're listening to Overtired, a podcast where I'm not angrily ranting for once. I'm Christina Warren, joined as always by my friends Brett Terpstra and Jeff Severance-Gunzel. Boys, how are you doing?
You're not angrily ranting yet, but the night is young.
The episode is young, but I'm not like that. That's not all I'm doing. Let's say that.
Hello.
Yeah,
I'm here.
So Christina, you had a cameo last week.
Yeah.
As you dealt with some Taylor Swift ticket issues.
Yes.
We're all on the edge of our seats to know how that turned out. Did your mom get tickets? How are things going?
No, she did not, because they canceled the general sale. So my best attempt at getting tickets for Atlanta, where I had tickets in my cart, I hit checkout, it checked out, and then because my dad's phone was off, he did not get a code that I needed to check out. So that happened. I was able to successfully get some tickets for the Seattle show using someone else's Capital One credit card. Because
what's in their wallet?
Even though my dad was like, I will have my phone next to me, I was like, I do not trust you.
Bond has been broken.
It has.
I have a question for you, Christina.
Yes.
How well do you grasp this current lawsuit situation around Live Nation and whatever else?
Well, okay. I don't know really how much of a case there is for it, to be completely honest. Like, I feel like the DOJ stuff, the DOJ should have been investigating Ticketmaster for years. And honestly, I consider it a massive failure of the Obama administration that they allowed Ticketmaster and Live Nation to merge in 2011 to begin with, right?
Crazy.
Like, it is sort of funny to see all these Democrats like decrying this. And I'm like, okay, let's not forget whose Congress, whose Senate, and whose presidency this was under.
Obama was not great for monopoly issues.
No, but I'm also, but I'm just saying, like, that this was 2011. This was not like when this was not an era when Democrats did not have a say, sure. and it wasn't like we were split down the middle, like we are right now, right? So let's just be honest about that situation. So I think that this is a merger that anybody with common sense knows never should have happened. But I don't know how strong the DOJ case here is and how much of this is just politicians bloviating. I am glad that because so many politicians clearly could not get Taylor Swift tickets, that they're angry about this. And maybe that will change some things. But I don't know. The big egregious aspect of the whole sale to me, as we've gotten more information, like, look, I'm mad about like my own like bad luck in this. I did get tickets to 2 shows. I will be buying tickets for my mom and I, because my mom really wants to go. And now she's like, oh, it just wasn't meant to be. And I'm like, hell no. Like, I will spend what it costs. And I don't want to, I mean, this is the part that pisses me off. I'm even willing to buy like scalped tickets, but then the scalpers charge 50% fees. 50% of what the ticket price is. So it's not even like a fee price. So like if you were to be dumb enough to buy $12,000 tickets from StubHub is then going to charge you $6,000 in fees. That is obscene.
Wow, that's insane.
That's obscene. Also, it's obscene that you know, like there are ways that you can prevent tickets from being transferred. And I'm not a fan of being like only the people who can go are people who actually bought the tickets, because that's kind of fucked up, right? Like real life things happen. And if you wanted to buy them for people, like, I don't know, that just feels like going too far. But there are things that they could absolutely do where like they see these tickets going for these prices on these services. They could absolutely reach out to these services and be like, no, you can't sell for these shows, or we're going to ban, you know, we're going to go through the line and find this stuff out. But I don't know. I mean, the clusterfuck of the sale, the fact they canceled the general sale, the thing that has me as a conspiracy theorist, and I don't think this is much of a conspiracy, they didn't sell all the tickets. There are still tickets for each show remaining. We don't know how many, and it probably wasn't enough to do a general sale, but there are definitely still tickets out there. And at some point, Ticketmaster will allow resales, I'm pretty sure, of this show on their platform. And at some point, I'm absolutely convinced, whether it's Ticketmaster employees, which it probably will be, or they'll do it in other ways. These remaining tickets are going to hit the open market, not at the face prices, as raises those might have been because of various VIP packs and other things. So I think it's just like the lack of transparency with all of this that is probably worthy of investigation. Hilariously, the focal point of this, everyone has been complaining about this for 25 years. I mean, Pearl Jam, again, famously went to bat for this. And then when I saw Pearl Jam in concert in the year 2000, I got my tickets from Ticketmaster. So Pearl Jam, like Eddie put in the good fight, but did not succeed. AEG, who is Ticketmaster's only competitor, is actually the sponsor, I guess the promoter of Taylor's concert. They couldn't use their own ticketing service because most of the venues have 100-year plus agreements with Ticketmaster.
Whoa, hold on. That's a thing?
Yeah. This is the thing that should be illegal.
Oh my fucking God.
I mean, this whole thing is insane. Like, I can't believe they get away with this. I don't know what kind of regulation needs to happen to fix all of these problems. And like, there's a whole thing with like Verizon and Ticketmaster and earmarking tickets for like specifically for VIP customers.
Oh yeah.
And like all this weird stuff that happens, and the artists get screwed in all of this. Yeah. It's not the artists that are benefiting. It's just Ticketmaster. It's
just Ticketmaster. Well, that's the thing, right? Is that when these resales happen, it's not as if Taylor Swift or Adele or Bruce Springsteen or, even smaller artists are benefiting from the scalping, right? Because they're not getting any payback from that. Yeah. Although it would be bad optics for them anyway. Like, I'm sure that to a certain extent, like Taylor Swift doesn't mind that her shows are sold out, but at another extent, and I was actually impressed she said anything about this and even expressed any amount of kind of frustration with the process, because she loves money and these are the people who, control the venues where she has to play. And she's now at this stage in her career. She and very few other artists, like it's a very small number of artists who can only play stadiums. She can only play stadiums. And it's not like people are like, oh, well, Garth Brooks just has another show until he can't sell out anymore. I'm like, there's not enough time. She's doing 53 shows in the US in a 6-month period of time. It's backing up until the start of football season. The next time she can tour the US would be a year later for a second leg. Yeah. And then she can't do anything else but tour, right? And bands have done that before, but that's not exactly what you want to do. But yeah, to me, one of the more egregious things is the fact that like Ticketmaster has these, and this is not a joke. I'm not being hyperbolic as I often am. This is for real. There are 100-year plus contracts with the venues with Ticketmaster that says no matter who owns them, and this is true even for venues that are owned in some cases by AEG, the competitor.
But these insidious. Deals have been signed
years beforehand, so they can't do anything about it.
That is just I just see Mr. Burns.
Oh yeah,
totally. That is exactly it. I was
it
trying
totally
to figure out. Yeah,
excellent.
And like, and I mean, honestly, the stuff like Verizon or other big companies having like VIP tickets to give to people. That's such small potatoes, right? Yeah. Like that sucks. But
there's some scandal around. I remember when I was watching one of these, like I don't remember Daily Show or some more news or something was taking on Ticketmaster and talking about all of the.
It's probably John Oliver.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. You're right. I think it was last week. Tonight did Ticketmaster.
Yeah, he did this like last year. I think we should find it and link to it. It's good. But no, the whole thing is, I'm mad for what I'm going to wind up paying for the Atlanta show. I'm glad that I had tickets that I got for my friends and I in New Jersey, and then I was able to get a ticket to the second show in Seattle. What kills me, it's not just the scalpers and the bots. At this point, there's real demand, I think, for this particular show. But the secondary thing that people don't talk about, and this is affecting so many things, and this is a cultural thing, this is a societal thing, and I don't know if like the regulation would help this, but it certainly would give some more, competition, is that you have this whole subclass of people now who, because of the pandemic and because of scarcity, have now seen that this is something that they can make money on through arbitrage by just buying things they think are going to be in great demand and low supply. So you saw this happen 2 years ago with GPUs and with PlayStations and with Xboxes. You've also seen it happen with sneakers, where you have regular people who are just thinking, oh, this is going to be a quick way for me to make money, and I'm just going to buy these things and then sell them on the secondary market for more. I'm hoping that this is just going to come out to bite people in the ass, much like it has in the sneaker market, because the sneaker market is completely like plateaued, and you have a ton of people who bought just ridiculous amounts of shoes with the hopes of reselling them, and then the bottom kind of collapsed out of that. I'm hoping that just the sheer number of supply of tickets for this show and other shows will mean that people who are trying to gouge people, because here's the thing: if you buy a $500 floor seat that then has $200 in fees, and you've got to then pay your fees with the reseller, if you want to sell that for $1,200, okay, fine, right? Like I can see that. But $12,000, that's when I'm just going, you got greedy, Martin, to go back to The Simpsons, right? And want to like smack people over the head, because that just becomes gross. And then that sets a baseline and an expectation that people can get that. So I don't know. There's this weird, fucked up, greedy cultural thing. Like 2 years ago, I spent a ridiculous amount of time, frankly, because it was fun for me, but also because I just didn't want to see families paying scalpers for PlayStations or Xboxes for their kids for the holidays. But I got like 18 families, and that's not an exaggeration, PlayStations or Xboxes at retail or through a bundle that was actually a decent bundle for the holidays. And it took me a lot of time to do that. But I was like, I'll be damned if people I know are going to be paying double or triple for a PlayStation. Like that's a mass market item. That's stupid. Like Taylor Swift, again, I can see like the Adele tickets that I'm getting from my mom that are not even good seats. I can see it's like these are a true scarce item in a sense. PlayStations and GPUs are not. But it was just to see, and I consider myself a fairly pro-capitalism person, but this isn't capitalism. This is like putting your finger on the scale. Like this is like actually kind of the opposite of that, of people just being like, we want to exert as much power as we can to, make the natural demand curve not exist so that we can be as greedy as possible. And it's like, you fucking assholes,
This has been one hell of a Christina rant to open the show with.
I was going to say, I'm done now. I'm done. So that's my rant.
Well, wait. I have
oh no, Jeff,
I have a question.
Don't do it.
I'll be very
fucking
quick.
do it.
I have a question.
I will be very quick. I will be very quick.
I have a question you can answer.
Oh my God.
And I have a question that we can't answer. The question is, just to move us out of this, does Garth Brooks still fly?
I have no idea.
Okay. And then I was looking for a picture of a ticket stub I have. I saw Olivia Newton-John on her 30th birthday.
Oh my God.
And on the physical tour when I was a kid. And we were in, I think, the 22nd row on the main floor. I bet that fucking ticket was about $15, which, like, even with inflation, is still nowhere near what we would have today. Jesus.
No, I mean, and frankly, and this is the only thing I'll say about this. That's kind of stunning to me that was what you paid them, because, okay, even let's say you had inflation of 4 or 5 times, which you would not have, right? Because that was like 82, 83. That was height of her, like that was like peak.
Oh, total peak. Yeah.
Right?
I mean, fucking
that was peak
physical.
pop star Olivia Newton-John. Like she had a huge career in the 70s, but this was like peak #1 on Billboard, like physical, like peak Olivia Newton-John. Amazing seats, $15 probably. Wow. And also, what an experience for you. That's so cool.
It was awesome. It was a great show, except I was then and am now a huge Grease fan.
Yep.
And they brought out some dude they must have kept in the green room every night for most of the show to sing John Travolta's parts. And he was so not John Travolta in every possible way, and she was so 1,000% Olivia Newton-John, right? That like,
Right.
it was a very disappointing imbalance. But Physical was awesome because there were some leotards and some dancers.
I can't even imagine. My very first concert was Paula Abdul,
Awesome.
and I was like 7, and I was or 6 or something, and I remember being sort of confused. Like, I knew that the cat wasn't real, but I was like, how is she going to dance with the cat? And they just had like a video screen behind her.
Yes. What was that song?
Opposites Attract.
Yes, not Cold Hearted Snake.
No, that's the one with was that the one with Keanu Reeves? No, Keanu Reeves is in Rush Rush.
Oh yeah.
He's in that video. Yeah.
I love it. All
right, we're done, Brett.
Okay.
Hey, we ended on an Olivia Newton-John note.
We did. It was a very nice note.
I feel like we should queue up some Olivia Newton-John to segue us into some kind of mental health corner. I think we should have. I think I want to, when I give Aaron some like guidelines for like what kind of music we want for our different segments. I hear like marimbas and castanets to go into the mental health corner, like a real 1950s martini.
Can I just say, wait, can I just say that I hear marimbas could be your mental health check-in?
I hear marimbas. Okay, that would actually be great. No, but I kind of love this. Yeah, I kind of have like a 50s kind of like that sort of thing. And then that could be like our catcher. I hear marimbas. You know what that means? It's time for mental health corner.
Mental health corner.
It's brought to you this week by Ovaltine.
I need to recover from our intro segment. So if someone else would like to give us a mental health check-in while I like reset myself here.
Yes.
That would be awesome.
Oh boy.
Mine is pretty basic. So I'm in Atlanta for until next week. So we're recording this on Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. So I'm going to be here until next Wednesday, actually, and then I leave like Wednesday morning and fly back to Seattle. So it's a fairly long visit. I forgot that Thanksgiving was this week because I'm bad at things like that. So my mother-in-law is having some health problems. So my husband, I flew him to see her, which I'm actually really happy he was able to go do that. So she's in Jacksonville. I'm in Atlanta. They're close, but for just various reasons, I'm not with him this time. But I am in Atlanta and I'm with my family, and that's really nice. I'm glad that I've been coming home as frequently as, even though Atlanta doesn't feel like home, but it's just the easiest thing to say. I'm glad that in the last year and a half, since my nephew was born, I've been able to be home as frequently as possible and see my parents and my sister and stuff, because, people aren't getting any younger. And this is always a hard time of the year for us. Sunday is the 11th anniversary of my aunt and uncle passing away after they got in a car accident 2 days after Thanksgiving.
Oh my God.
In 2011. So Sunday is the 11th anniversary of that. So Thanksgiving is hard for our family, but I'm really glad that I'm here, and I'm also just kind of glad like I can turn my brain off other than ranting about Ticketmaster. So that's my check-in.
I feel like you have your. Does your family do like a Thanksgiving dinner and everyone talks about what they're grateful for?
No.
Oh. Well, if they did, I feel like your mental health check-in would be a great like Thanksgiving table. I'm thankful to be home. I'm grateful to be with family. Yeah, I feel like you covered the Thanksgiving episode really well right there.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, Jeff, do you want to go or should I?
I can go. I'm traveling, so it's interesting. Like when I'm traveling, I just do my best to sort of make sure take meds on time. If I'm grumpy, figure out why. But I'm not nearly as sort of in tune with myself as I am when I'm home. But I can say that I'm visiting my in-laws today and the next couple of days, and I just came from my father and stepmother's house for like a day and a half, and I didn't think I wanted to leave town. I felt like I wanted to stay in town. We just had a lot going on over the last couple months, but the second I was out the door and in the car, first with my own family and then hanging out with my dad and stepmother, playing a game they invented called Tortilla Toss, which involves some rather elaborate construction on their part. And then just the sort of the thing I just want to point to as being a nice reminder to myself is that my stepmom, I'm from a small town in Iowa. I only lived there for the first 2 years of my life. And then every summer and winter break until I was 18. My stepmother, who's an artist, works with a gallery downtown, and downtown in my hometown is literally just like a street. And in the basement, she decided to turn it into a music performance space where every Wednesday night, anybody can come with an instrument, whether you're awesome or terrible. And you'll find a place on the stage at some point with what has become this sort of like house band. And I was able to go see that space after hearing about it for the last couple months and see a bunch of pictures. And it was just it's just amazing how you can do community building in ways that maybe you would have never thought of before. And then once you've done it, you're like, Jesus Christ, why didn't this already exist? Because like from the time she started, the place is just flooded with people, from like people that played in orchestras to there's an unhoused dude that comes in and sings every week. And there's people that want to beat each other up. And so they have to take space a little bit, like there's just like, it's like true community.
Did you watch Ted
cool
Lasso?
Yeah.
Do you remember the episode where he brings in the street musician to play the charity ball? Yeah.
I love that.
Love that. It's nice to see family. It's nice to be reminded of things that I would never do to build community, and then to realize how doing something like that can make such a difference for people. It's a corny thing to say, but it's like pretty fucking cool.
Nice. That's awesome. So I have officially gone more than a month without a manic episode. And
wow.
Like there have been a couple times where I felt it coming on and did some self-care routines and and implemented some structure in my life that kept it from, I haven't lost a single night of sleep. I've had some insomnia. I've had like some low sleep, but it hasn't resulted in, 5 days of no sleep and manic production. And I've also been producing content. Nice. I've been writing, I've been working, I've been programming and like doing things that if I were depressed, I wouldn't be able to do. So I feel like this kind of idea of curbing my mania has led to something closer to what I kind of hope stable is like. I've continued to read Marbles and Rocksteady by Ellen Forney, which has been very enlightening. But her medication journey was a lot like mine. And I think Jeff could relate to it too. If you've never read Marbles, I will send you a copy. I have an extra copy. I'm going to send it to you.
Please do.
But yeah, I am as close to stable as I've ever been. I have exciting things happening on the job front, and I will talk about them eventually. But for now, I'll just say, yeah, life is good. And I didn't travel for Thanksgiving, and I don't have to see any family for Thanksgiving, which for me is like, I get a mental health day Thursday. Like Elle and I both have completely off, no obligations, no yoga classes, no work, no family. And we get to just have like a day to kind of recover from life. And it's going to be awesome. I'm very much looking forward to it.
I love that. I think like if like historically, even before my aunt and my uncle died, like I've never really been a big Thanksgiving person. Like it's just never been like, I don't like the food. My extended family and I, there are people who I'm happy to see and there are people who I'm just kind of like, I don't really care. So I'm not one of those people who like, extols like the virtues of like needing to like see your family or be with people like on Thanksgiving. Like I get that. So I'm really glad that you and Elle have this time to decompress because like we can all be grateful for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
Christmas is going to be a trial for me. Like my whole family is coming to town. I'm going to have to see like 6 nieces and nephews plus a bunch of extended family, mostly very fundamentalist Christian that I don't enjoy hanging out with. And my parents' anniversary is right around Christmas. And I think this is their 50th. And they're having a square dance.
Oh, wow.
And
Wow.
And they've had one in the past. I think they had one for like their 40th anniversary. And it turned out to be kind of fun. It's like polka music. When you live in Minnesota, you're like, polka's stupid, but then you go to a polka night and you have fun. It's fun.
It's true.
So I think I can have fun at this square dance, but also I'm not like right now I'm very uncomfortable with my like physical shape and not feeling like getting out on a dance floor. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to try to be a really good sport about it because it means so much to my mom. That's how they met, was square dancing.
Oh my God.
Wow.
That's kind of amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah, thus the anniversary square dance. But
Okay,
yeah.
I was going to say, because that didn't make any sense to me, but I was
Like, that's
also
random.
Yeah, I
But
kind
I
of
was also
forgot
not
about
gonna-
that.
But I was also like not going to like question it. I was just going to be like, okay, cool.
Yeah, that's how my family rolls.
That's amazing. Heel toe, slide, slide, slide. That's what I remember from square dancing in gym.
Yep.
in
Yeah,
junior high.
I was going to say, like, did you guys have to square dance in middle school?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Wait till
Maybe
you
that's just like a universal
Waltz,
thing. 'Cause I did too.
foxtrot, square dance. Yeah.
Man, you had to do that shit in Atlanta?
Oh, yeah. They would play these records. Bow to your partner.
Yep.
Bow to your corner.
Yep.
Mhm.
Staring like go round and round. It was just terrible. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's even weirder when you have a live caller for the square dance and they get very into it and they will like call you up personally.
Huh.
It gets weird. But all right, should we do a little sponsor block here?
We should.
All right, Christina, tell us about ZocDoc.
Yes. So if you're a fan of it, sushi is incredible, but gas station sushi, not so much. Finding the right sushi makes all the difference. And the same goes for finding the right doctor. With ZocDoc, you can find the right doctor for you in your network and in your neighborhood. One that makes you feel like you're in good hands, that you're supported and you're heard, even if you're just telling them about your favorite sushi place. ZocDoc is a free app that shows you doctors who are patient reviewed, take your insurance, and are available when you need them. On ZocDoc, you can find every specialist under the sun, whether you're trying to straighten those teeth, fix that achy back, get a mold checked, or anything else. ZocDoc has you covered. ZocDoc's mobile app is as easy as ordering a ride to a restaurant or getting delivery to your house. Search, find, and book doctors with a few taps. You can find and review local doctors. You can read verified patient reviews from real people who made real appointments. And now when you walk into that doctor's office, you're all set to see someone in your network who gets you. So you can go to ZocDoc.com, find the doctor that's right for you, and book an appointment in person or remotely that works for your schedule. Every month, millions of people use ZocDoc. I'm one of them. I've been using it as my go-to whenever I need to find a quality doctor for over a decade now. It is definitely one of my most used services. So you can go to ZocDoc.com/overtired and download the ZocDoc app for free. And then you start a search for a top-rated doctor today. Many are available within 24 hours. That is ZocDoc.com/overtired. ZocDoc.com/overtired.
Thank you, Christina.
Woo!
Round of applause. I don't have an applause sound effect loaded up.
Bummer.
I'll take the next one.
Rock on.
Simply Safe. Did you know that over the holidays, property crimes like burglaries and package thefts spike nationally? That's why our friends at Simply Safe Home Security are offering 50% off their award-winning security system so that more families can feel safe and secure this holiday season. Too late for you, though, if it's Thanksgiving that you wanted to protect yourself against. That was my insert. Order your Simply Safe system for half off today and enjoy advanced security and greater peace of mind this holiday season. Here's why we love it. SimpliSafe was named the best home security system of 2022 by U.S. News and World Report, a third year in a row. In an emergency, 24/7 professional monitoring agents used Fast Protect (TM) technology exclusively from SimpliSafe to capture critical evidence and verify the threat is real so that you can get priority police response. I need something in my brain that can verify a threat is real. Wouldn't that be good? I'd just squeeze it in there right by the amygdala. Okay. SimpliSafe is whole home security with advanced sensors for every room, window, and door. HD security cameras for inside and out. Smarter ways to detect motion that alert you only when a threat is real. And even hazard sensors that detect fires, floods, and other threats from your home. 24/7 professional monitoring service costs under $1 a day, less than half the price of ADT's traditional professionally installed system. See, ADT, what you could have done? You could have been here, but instead it's SimpliSafe. With the top-rated SimpliSafe app, stay in complete control of your system, anytime, anywhere, arm or disarm, unlock for a guest, access your cameras, or adjust system settings. Don't miss your chance for massive savings on our favorite security system. Get 50% off any new system at simplisafe.com/overtired today. This is their biggest discount of the year. That's simplisafe.com/overtired. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
.com/overtired, but we'll accept it. We'll allow it. If you have stuck with us this far through the sponsor block, like we were told we should split these up. People listen to them more if they're not all in one block. But if you stuck with it, I have a podcast to tell you about. Have you ever wondered exactly what would happen if you licked a hotel remote control? Tune in every week to hear the hosts of Hotel Horrors describe another terrifying disease present in almost every hotel. You will never travel again. That's Hotel Horrors on the Hallmark Network.
Oh, Hallmark picked that up.
Yeah, that's amazing. That goes in line with like their content rules.
Yeah, don't look that up. It's probably not real.
I love it.
So I gotta offer a tech tip. So I've been following Amazon's early Black Friday deals, and one thing that has popped up. So first, 1 terabyte NVMe SSD cards popped up for like $100 per terabyte. And so I ordered 4, and I also ordered a new 4M2 enclosure from OWC, Otherworld Computing. So that would give me a RAID 0 4 terabyte SSD drive over Thunderbolt 3 that is almost as fast as my internal hard drive. And
wow.
then Amazon lets me know that they have 2 terabyte drives for $150, which, it adds up. You have 4 of those. You can do the math, but like that's not a cheap hard drive, but that would give you 8 terabytes with a write speed up to 3,500 megabytes per second. It is a fantastic deal. So if you are if you're doing video editing, audio editing, looking for something to work, any video work you're doing, and you need a super fast external drive with some significant storage, check out Amazon's deals. I'll link the gold P31 SSDs that I found from SK Hynix.
Yeah, those are pretty good too, I have to say. Like, they're not as good as like the Western Digital and Seagate have some that are like a little bit higher performing, but I have one of those P31s. Yeah. And it's awesome.
Yeah. The first ones I ordered 4 1 terabyte Samsung SSD 980s that I will probably send back now, because I got those for like $125 a piece, but now I can get 2 terabytes for $150. So I'm gonna trade up for like double the size for an extra $30. Sure,
rolling around in terabytes like they were dollar bills.
And the The 4M2 enclosure from OWC is $250 for just the enclosure. But if you were to buy the same amount of storage on like external, like those little 1-2 terabyte like square drives you can buy, you would be spending more than this, and their speeds are half as good as for RAID 0 NVMe drives. So I highly recommend this.
Yeah, I will say if you are looking for like one of the better SSDs you can get just in terms of performance, it's $100 right now. The Western Digital SN770. There is an 870, which is even faster, but the 770 is really, really good. That's only 1 terabyte. But if you were, for some reason, you needed something more than 3,500 megabytes, which is, obviously very fast. But for some reason, if you're gaming or whatever, the SN770 is like 5,000 megabyte per second transfer. It's a PCIe Gen 4, and it's $100 right now.
Yeah, and the 2 terabyte is 180.
Yep.
Nice. Adding that to the show notes. SN770.
I have something to say. It's
Yes.
not about hard drives. Today, I finished The Walking Dead. I watched the season series finale, which I think I don't know. Oh, no.
No, it didn't.
No. What I wanted to talk about, and the best part is it ends and then immediately promotes 3 new shows. Daryl Dixon,
Right.
which I'm down for Daryl Dixon as a show. Fine,
Of course.
no problem.
That should have been
Obviously.
a spinoff a
Put
long
him in
time
any.
ago.
Long
What they
years
should
ago.
do, they should do a kind of fan fiction type thing where they put him in other universes.
Yeah.
Like he's in the Harry Potter universe. He'd be great in the Harry Potter universe, right? Like so good. Or better yet, put him in the World War Z universe. Did you see that?
Daryl
movie where
Dixon as
fucking
Hagrid.
zombies
That's what
are
I
super
want.
fast. Yes. So there's Daryl Dixon. There's Rick and Michonne, and then there's something called Dead City. And I'm just like, the fuck? Why would no? So here's the thing I wanted to ask you all. Is there like you got like Occam's razor and whatever, all these different laws that explain patterns of behavior that appear over and over again? How the fuck, and you don't have to spend too much time on this, how, when that show started so strong and at the point of its, the beginning of its decline was so flush with cash, how is it that they could not pay the money it would take to get good storytellers to help continue building out their world? Why?
Yeah.
Why? It got so fucking bad.
It's a really
Because they
good
didn't have
question.
Because they didn't have to.
Yeah,
What
but
do you think
it-
it is? They didn't have to.
It
Nothing's
lost
pushing them
me.
to.
They didn't have to.
They have to have lost millions of viewers. Like they lost
They
me.
did.
I was a
Understanding they
hardcore.
did.
I was a hardcore TWD fan.
Yep.
Yeah.
Loved it. And then like shortly after, it lasted a couple seasons after Negan.
Negan
Yeah.
with an N.
Negan.
Yeah, after Negan.
Megan.
Yeah.
N is in
It's
Negan.
a millennial girl's name. But yeah, I lasted a couple seasons till like Negan was like it kind of became a good guy a little bit. And then I just lost my heart for it. I couldn't take the ups and downs anymore. I don't know, like I feel like you could say the same thing about Game of Thrones last season or two.
Not that big of a dip.
No,
No?
and I think that them, like, I'll give Game of Thrones a little bit more of a pass, and so far as like they were expecting to have some source material to use, and they didn't.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
And so like that puts you in kind of a precarious situation where you're now having to create lore for something you didn't previously create it on, and so I give them a little bit of a pass. But for Walking Dead, I mean, it's interesting because I watched Fear of the Walking Dead as well, and that one, weirdly, I think, like, now Alicia's finally gone, and so I don't know if I'm going to even continue at that point, because I'm like, all right, now all the original characters I think are basically gone. I think they brought the mom back or something, but
Yeah.
that's been one that I haven't been like super into. But it also dropped off, but it still had some aspects. I don't think it dropped off to the same degree. But my honest thought is that with the spinoffs, all of the other franchise things they had with it, that yeah, they obviously lost viewers, but somebody had to run the numbers and been like, well, if we pay the money to make it better, is that going to necessarily like bring us an influx of viewers, or are these people just kind of gone because these are the waves these shows go in? And as long as we keep a show running, we will have people either hate watching it or just watching it out of, like attrition. So let's just suck all the money out of it. It's like a Grey's Anatomy thing, which incidentally, Ellen Pompeo is finally leaving after 19 years. 19 years on that show. But the show is, I guess, going to continue. I mean,
is that still on?
Yes.
Jesus
yes,
Christ.
And Meredith Grey is going to leave, but the show will at least continue on through the rest of the season. Do they get renewed at the end of for next year? Probably not, but who knows?
Is it as bad as The Simpsons are now?
Oh, it's worse.
Is it just going through the motions?
Oh yeah.
Huh.
And what's funny is that Ellen Pompeo, the actress, I do kind of love her because she's been very upfront about this. She's like, look, I know that I will never be able to get any other working role ever again because I'm too associated with this character.
Yeah.
And
for sure.
And I will never be able to get real work again. So she's for more than a decade been like, fuck you, pay me. And like insisting on them paying her an insane amount of money. Yeah. And I respect that.
Yeah,
also, just kind of phoning it. I'm like, yeah, you were right. You will never work again. You will never be cast in anything meaningful ever again. Not because you're not talented, but because no one will ever be able to.
You are Grey. That's
you are.
it.
That's it. So but with her finally leaving, I'm like, oh my God. So yeah, but like, why would ABC keep this show on the air, especially since viewerships have fallen? It must be international. It must be something. It's the only thing I can figure. That's my Occam's razor theory, is that they don't have to.
I like that. That is, I can see how that could become the problem. It's still astonishing. It's like that thing where, like, when you use a really shitty remote control, which is like all of them, but when you use a really, really shitty one, and my first thought is like, how many fucking meetings did this thing sail through and why? And I feel like that about every episode of The Walking Dead after like season 7.
Yes.
Just like, how is it that there wasn't someone to say, hey, can you just make that a little more interesting?
If they had killed Daryl, can you imagine? Like, if Daryl left the show, if what's his name?
Norman Reedus.
Yes. So can you imagine if he decided he was done? Because honestly, he could still get work. Like, he's not in the situation where he could never play another part. Like, he could go back he could do Boondock Saints 3 and get the gig. But like, if he had left, if the writers had decided, big twist, let's kill Daryl, that show would have ended a long time ago.
I mean, I said that all the way through as I was watching those seasons. I'm like, you better not fucking kill Daryl. Him. Yeah.
So
it was terrible.
My former colleague at Gizmodo, Rob, used to write, or IO9 used to write Walking Dead recaps, and for like years. And his were like famous, and like for years, his Walking Dead recaps were just him just like hate watching and just eviscerating everything in the show, and it was such a great like read. So Rob Bricken. So actually I will publish this because this, or I put this in the show notes because this was published 17 minutes ago. It turns out The Walking Dead was me all along. I've spent 10 full years recapping the once popular zombie TV series, and it comes with a cost. I haven't read this yet, but knowing Rob, who is fantastic, this I bet is just a great read. I'll read the final paragraph. Looking back at a full decade of recapping The Walking Dead, I can't help but feel, oh my God, how did I spend a decade of my life watching this show that overall I don't think I enjoyed? The fact that it overlaps almost exactly with my tenure at IO9 complicates things immensely for me, since overall I've enjoyed my time here, minus a real-life supervillain or two. The two experiences are inextricably linked for me and will be for a while, I suspect. But right now, I have no ability to truly understand what I've done or has been done to me. I'm insensate, numb, listless, lifeless. After 10 long years, I am The Walking Dead. But if nothing else, The Walking Dead is giving me one piece of advice to help guide me through this difficult transition in my life, all the way back to my very first episode that aired on October 31st, 2010. don't open Dead Inside.
That's amazing.
Can you link that for us in the
I
show
will.
notes? Should we do some gratitude? Because there's some Black Friday things that if this
Yes.
episode comes out in time might be worth people knowing about.
Absolutely.
All right, who wants to start? I got some good ones. I'll jump in, but if anyone else has one ready, go for it.
I don't exactly. I have kind of like last week I was doing almost like follow-up gratitude and gratitude follow-up, and this time I just want to say I want to ask a question. I have been sort of going back and forth really for years between Forklift and Pathfinder as Finder alternatives.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I have settled. I always end up settling on Forklift.
Yep.
Even though every time there's a new version of Pathfinder, I go, oh no, maybe that's me now.
Same, exactly the same.
And so what is it? Like, so I've definitely landed back on Forklift, but like, I can't exactly tell you why.
Pathfinder is too configurable for me. I always feel like there's an option I'm not using that would make this make more sense. Like there's some way
too much. Yeah.
to configure this that would just be perfect flow for me, but I never find it.
Yeah.
I never find that exact combination. And Forklift has fewer overall options, fewer modules, etc.
It's actually, in my opinion, not configurable enough.
But you can configure every keyboard shortcut. Like you can go into preferences, change all your keyboard shortcuts.
Mm-hmm.
It has your 2-pane file management. It has excellent integration with cloud services.
Yeah.
Like
yes,
everything
it does.
from
I use
Dropbox to B2 drives to S3 drives. Like
totally.
Everything it's just, and SFTP, and it just does the job smoothly without making me think that I'm missing out on anything. And I always fall back to Forklift.
I never thought I'd hear the day that I'd hear Brett Turf just say, it's just too configurable.
There is a limit. Well, no, but I think that is so true. It's like, I never thought I would hear that either. But even Brett is like, look, it's great to have options, but sometimes you have to make choices.
Yeah. There's a like
killing me, Smalls.
I love things that are extensible. I love things that are tweakable, but I have my limits. So Forklift, you can create custom commands for Forklift. You can add commands that basically run Unix scripts for you. And you can make them menu-based commands. And that's the extensibility I want. I want to be able to tweak something that does exactly the thing that I want to do that nobody else would ever want to do. I want to make it do that. And Forklift can do it. Pathfinder offers you 100 different modules that none of which really satisfy the specific itch that I have.
Yeah. That's helpful. Yeah. All right. There's my gratitude.
Forklift? Is Forklift your pick?
I think we've done it before, but it was more about that thing of like, man, why am I always willing to try something else when
Pathfinder is very powerful? Pathfinder is just like, it's appealing because it's so configurable. By the way, I think both of these are available on setup. So setup users can take their pick. But Forklift is just a smoother, less mentally taxing experience for me.
All right. There's that.
Right. Christina, you got anything?
Yeah, so there are a couple of things. So you are going to talk about, I think there are a bunch of Black Friday sales and Cyber Monday sales that you mentioned, and I'm going to talk about some too, just because I think this is a good time. I would just completely just like follow on with yours, but there are a bunch of Black Friday sales. I think actually Michael Sy has a really good overview of what some things are. We'll link his blog post, which I think he's updating in the show notes too. But it's not their best one, but Bundle Hunt does have a Black Friday bundle that has some decent apps in it. And I'm pulling it up right now. Okay. Some of them are decent prices. So it's one of those things where you unlock the bundle for $3.50 and then you can add, a bunch of things to it. And so some of the things that are here There's and you've used Fusion Cast, right, Brett?
No, what is that?
So it's like lets you turn your podcast episodes into videos.
Oh, no. Maybe that's what I use. I found something that did that. So if that's one we've talked about on the show before, yes, I have used it. And
okay, I don't know if that's what you did or not. I thought that's what it was. Anyway, it's on sale for $1.50. Let's see, AirBuddy is on sale for $3.50, which is like a Bluetooth a wireless control app. There's some other things too. I'm trying to see. You can get a year of Agenda Premium for $5 if that's an app you like.
Great app. That's a great app.
I agree. There is let's see. They've got some bundles of some other like special effects and photo overlays and things for like $2, which is pretty good. There is
Hootspot, Hootageo. I'm just looking through Michael Sai's list.
Yep.
Hootspot and Hootageo are both on sale for, I would say, it looks like about 20% off. I highly recommend Hootspot. It's a great app.
Couldn't recommend anything higher than I could recommend.
Oh yeah, Hootspot is great. Oh yeah, that's a great one. Also, as part of that that bundle, this is why I thought of this, because you were mentioning Forklift and Pathfinder. Yes, Mountain Duck, which is Forklift, does some similar things in terms of being able to like load other basically
cloud services.
like cloud services. Exactly.
Yeah.
Mountain Duck is cross-platform, which is really nice. It's from the people who make Cyberduck.
Yeah.
It's on sale
okay.
It's on sale for $8, and it's actually really good. I think like if you've got Forklift, it's probably going to work for most of your needs. And if you already have one of those apps, it's probably good. But if you are looking for something that can work both on Mac and Windows, Mountain Duck is actually really, really good, and it's $8. So.
Nice.
So I'm throwing that out there. But yeah, Michael Sai on his blog post, he's got a lot of things that are listed. Yeah, Hootspot, Hootageo, that's definitely a good thing. And Halid is they're doing their first sale since 2018, the iPhone there's really great. And yeah, so there's a lot of good stuff.
Lingen X is on this list. I thought Lingen was dead. I use Launch Control for this now, and Launch Control from SomaZone should eventually be a pick for us. But apparently you can get Lingen X9 for $12.75. It's a tool that runs LaunchD, like helps you set up and run LaunchD jobs on a Mac.
Oh, nice.
Which is the Mac's version of like cron.
Right.
For running background tasks. So it like that used to be my go-to app. So I'm impressed to see it's still alive.
What do you use now?
Launch Control from SomaZone.
Okay.
I'll throw that in the show notes because it is an outstanding app, and they also just came out with a new version.
Oh, Flexibits Premium is 50% off for Black Friday and Cyber Monday.
Flexibit, like
Fantastical.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're noting that they're going to be making adjustments to their pricing January 3rd. So if you've been wanting to subscribe, this is really a good way to do it since things are 50% off. Fantastical is one of those things that like I so happily pay for. Like I don't know.
I wish it worked with Microsoft 365, whatever. I can't use it for work, and it drives me nuts.
Did I send you the way to use the V1 API and that still didn't work?
It still didn't work.
Okay.
Yep. Oracle has some rules, and it's annoying. I miss Fantastical. I do. I still actually use it, but then I also have to use Outlook Calendar.
Right.
For all of my work stuff. It's annoying. But yes, Fantastical. If it works for all of your calendars, Fantastical is top notch. All right. Throw some links to some of the stuff you've mentioned briefly into the show notes. I will talk about a couple. First of all, teleprompter. It took years. So many teleprompter apps have come out that are not worth jack. Like, it's not hard to make text move slowly on a screen, but to actually add features that someone needing a teleprompter would want, apparently took some time, but an app called Teleprompter, very on the nose, solved that. And like they have iOS and Mac apps, and you can sync your scripts over iCloud. You can control your teleprompter with your watch. You can mirror it, so you can use your iPhone with a teleprompter lens on your camera, so you can see your teleprompter right as you look into the lens, and it does all the little things that you would want to do. It makes editing scripts super easy on Mac or iOS, and you can get it for Black Friday. And they're only sending the coupons out to people who subscribe to their newsletter. So the show notes will have a link to the subscription form for the Black Friday deals. So you would have to go, but for Black Friday, you can get a year of Teleprompter Premium for $4.99, which
That's
is,
awesome.
I think it's normally $15 to $20.
I think so, because I pay for it, and it is hands down. Like you, I've searched for so many apps. I've used it every single week for like 4 years. It is the best. It is the absolute best.
Anytime I'm doing video, anytime I'm doing screencasts or talking head stuff, it's top notch. I think that's my catchphrase, top notch. It's top notch. The other one I want to mention for Black Friday is Solver 3. I had waited to upgrade because Solver 3 is not cheap. And I was doing fine with Solver 2, but what it is, it's a text-based calculator where you can write out what you need to solve, and it can do currency translation and long formulas basically. And you can reference whatever the total was from the line you wrote out before it. You can reference it again and then continue it in the next line. And it's basically a text file with a calculator built in. And for the way my brain works, like I'm not great at math. So when I want to solve a problem, especially something with floating point calculations in an application, Solver is how I think through these equations. And version 3 is half off right now through Unclutter app. Unclutter they make a Mac app, but really I think they make most of their money on these bundles they do. But Solver 5 is usually $35, and right now you can get it for $17.50, or you can buy this entire bundle from Unclutter with Rapid Weaver, Task Paper, Time Mater, Acorn, PDF Squeezer, Pathfinder, Text Sniper, which is cool but is about to be Sherlocked, iStat Menus, Patrico, which is a competitor to Curio, which we've talked about, and Downy 4, which is like the best graphic interface to like YouTube DL. You can get all of that for 75% off. You can get the whole bundle for $84. But you can also pick and choose, and you can just get Solver 3, which is what I'm going to put in the show notes, for $17.50.
Where does Sherlocked come from?
The app.
The app
Watson.
Sherlock.
Oh.
So Apple's was it Apple's Sherlock that Sherlocked Watson, or was it Watson that Sherlocked Sherlock?
That's a good question. I forgot.
That was like their search bit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Thanks. Well, I think we did a great job.
I think we did. And I think we hit an hour. And if you made it this far in the episode, that means you sat through 15 minutes of Ticketmaster talk at the top of the hour. And
Sorry.
Nice job. No, congrats, Christina. Like
That's good.
You had a lot to say, and I appreciate it. I don't mean to sound grumpy. Is that
whack?
Do I seem grumpy?
Whack ass situation.
It is, and it deserves some talking about. So thank you for that, and thank you guys for making some time. On both of you are traveling this week.
That's
and
right.
I appreciate you showing up.
My
gotta
pleasure.
do it, man. We got to
Yeah.
do it. Oh, and Sherlocked Watson. So that's
Yeah.
That's
just
the
for anyone
episode title: Sherlocked Watson.
Yeah.
All right,
Sherlock Watson.
y'all get some sleep.
Get some sleep.
Get some sleep.
The system is going down now.
Hey there, good people. Before you go, we have a bunch of new places where you can interact with us. Please check out our Instagram feed, our YouTube channel, Twitter, of course, and sign up for the Overtired newsletter, which will sort of pick up where the show leaves off, with expanded show notes, a little bit of what the three of us get up to between episodes, and let's face it, there'll be some musings. How can you resist musings? You'll find details for all the ways to interact with us in the show notes and at overtired.com. And thank you, as always, for listening.